Okay, once you get that the dash fitted, we hadn't glued anything yet. You also need to go ahead and paint your cutout and paint your seat. The seat, you need to keep the seats a little bit longer. We're going to cut it until it will match up to the back of the cockpit here. You also need to paint your joystick, and it glues right in the center. Well, you want to glue that last. You're going to get a two-piece thing. It'll be a square and then a little bit longer of a rectangle. This was more or less the cannon cover. And what the thing about it is, when you pull it, we're pulling so big and it's so square, it's going to pull some flashing. I'll probably go ahead and have it glued on the inside. What you need to do is take and carve off or sand off that flashing until you get it square. This one glues onto the front, and then this goes up against the bulkhead. I don't know if you can see it. There's a you can see the bulkhead right here. Another thing on the bulkhead is there'll be some plain ABS in there. You need to paint it the color of the cockpit and slide it up into place before you glue the dash in, and glue it to this bulkhead, and that'll give you something so you don't see the bulkhead itself. Anyway, this goes in and is glued right up against the bulkhead and comes to the front of where the scuff panels are. Okay. The only other thing is you have to put together. You get the flap wheels come in two pieces. You need to take off any flashing, clean those up. We're going to drill a hole in the center of both of them. I used I think it was a, I forgot what size drill, but I use it, drill a hole in the center and use a toothpick to put that on. You'll have a resin piece here. That's the flap wheel holder. Anyway, you just need to join those and make sure they're both even. Those go right down beside the pilot's seat. So that's the last thing you have to do there. And behind the pilot's seat, there'll be enough ABS that you need to paint it and install it to the back side of the cockpit itself. Let me pull this out. So when it's in there, you should be able to reach up from behind and install this to make that a good sturdy square. You just have to cut it to where it fits. The only thing I have left to do is we'll go and install the headrest, and then we'll be through with the installation of the cockpit. Okay, I figured out how I'm going to do the headrest. I want to show you. The big concern I had was it being too flimsy and not holding up when you have like a gas motor in it. Anyway, what I did was the back of the headrest I made in two pieces, and you can see it still has the flashing on around the edges. What I did was I took this and I cut all the flashing off I could all the way around. And then what I'm doing is I'm coming back and I'm cutting most of the flashing up the side away. And I'm going to do this all the way around. And you see there's still a little bit, you just need to even it up. Make sure, I just did it real quick. Make sure it's even all the way across. Here's the two that I've done. Okay? And you can see it's got just a little bit of an edge on both of them all the way around. Alright, the way I'm going to do this is, or way you can do this if you want to, is take a piece of, this is a piece of 1/32 plywood, and you're going to sandwich it inside. What this does, this makes this really rigid, and you would glue it in like that, and of course you're going to have a little bit of a seam around here, but once you do that, you can fill that with a putty or something and then sand it smooth, and you'll have your headrest that'll go right here. Alright, now one other thing you can sandwich in between there, I made the armored part of the headrest in the F version had a piece that came over forward, okay, and you could tell it was just bolted to the back, and it went over and up just like this. So I made the part right here. You're going to remove all this. You're going to come up. You're going to cut this as tight as you can, because we're going to use the bottom too. We're going to come up and we're going to cut this off all the way around, and you're going to go one way, and you need use some real fine scissors, and come back the other way. And we're just going to take that corner off. Now once you get those both cut off, you're going to cut it down the middle. Alright? What you're left is with this piece here. And what you need to do is take it, before you glue this in two pieces, if you'll take this and figure out how far you need to insert it up in there, this gives you a hook to go up under this lip here and help stabilize that in place. Now that ABS is not going to hold up entirely. You have to put your bead of glue across the back here, but that will help get you started with holding it in place. On the real airplane, this was attached to the canopy. There's just no really good way to do that after having to glue the canopy down the way it is. Anyway, if you'll just sandwich those two pieces, then come back and glue, sandwich the two pieces there and come back, and this is glued right on the back. Anytime you're gluing ABS to ABS, just use the Testors plastic model glue or the Model Masters liquid cement, and that works really well. You need to make sure this is measured at the right height to fit within the canopy, because there's not much room, and on the real one it was just enough to come up over and give the pile a little bit more protection. I will make a small headrest that will go on here. It'll just be another piece you just cut out and glue on here. I usually do it after I painted. Okay, one other quick thing I wanted to go over was the Canon